This one I thought about more than any other question. Maybe I'm blind, but I see no real abyss for this particular startup business, our blog. But the abyss that I see, and I'm going to editorialize here, so I'll make it brief, but the abyss is the developing countries that really have not been producing wealth to the extent that they should have over the last decades. There is going to be a real implosion. It's already begun. The United States is a perfect example. We have financial institutions that have been making money on money with derivatives and packaged debt and computer algorithms. That just transfers money, it doesn't create wealth. We have a large percentage of people in this nation who turn to government people, government agencies to fix the economy or create jobs. Government agencies don't do that. They just transfer wealth. So we have been neglecting, as a group of first world countries, producing wealth for quite a long time. And I do feel, and with 100%, I am absolutely convinced that there's going to be a real implosion of economies, and the people who create wealth are the ones who everyone's going to look to. So I truly believe that as entrepreneurs, this is our time. We are beginning to see the dawn of our golden age. And all the abyss that I see is what happens when things crash. So getting the word out to become independent, become self-reliant, being an entrepreneur is one of the best ways to do that. To me, the more we can get that word out, the more shallow the abyss will be and the less devastating it will be. And I truly believe that that's the abyss. And if we can get more people, the whole world should be entrepreneurs. And I truly believe that that's our mission. And our blog, startupweekly.com or startupweek.ly, if we can get to a few more people, then we've done a tremendous job towards making that abyss much less deep. And all I ask of all of you founders out there and all of you entrepreneurs is two things. Number one, keep on being entrepreneurs, because trust me, just the timing's great if nothing else. But secondly, encourage everyone you meet to be an entrepreneur. Encourage everyone you meet to be independent and self-reliant, because that is the only way we're going to avoid a really, really bad one. I don't mean to be gloom and doom. I'll get off my soapbox now, but that's what I truly believe.
Well,
and I'm not running for office.
There you go.
Don't worry.
So dovetailing with what you said, what I see is more of a chasm, right? So the chasm is how do we get the word out, and how do we truly empower entrepreneurs and empower people who are not necessarily yet entrepreneurs to put on that entrepreneur's hat and make a go and swing out and do it. And that's really it. It's like how do we reach those people? We can preach to the choir all day, and most of our viewers probably are already entrepreneurs who are looking for inspiration and ideas and solutions, and people who've already taken that step, who've already identified themselves. But how do we find people who have not made that identification and inspire them, spark an interest in them to take that step, take that leap? And for me, that's millions and millions of people. If we're going to be the engine of the world economy going forward, we got a lot of work to do. So that's, for me, how do we get to millions of viewers every week? How do we get to millions of entrepreneurs, millions of businesses getting started? And it starts with the few we have now, and that's where we're starting. But to get from where we are now to millions, we're gonna have to work some magic.
Agreed. My inspiration are the people that we meet and interview and ask them who inspires them, because you always get a 2-for-1 shot at least, if not 3 or 4 to 1, and following up on their biographies, reading their life story, seeing their interviews, seeing what they went through to keep on going one more time, deciding not to jump out of the window but come back in off the ledge and give it one more day, and son of a gun, it works. It's the content of why we're doing this that inspires me, the people that we interview, and those stories and their lives. That's my inspiration, no doubt.
I wish I had something more to say.
Well, you should have gone first.
I know, but I could have said it. That really is it. You know, when we interview these entrepreneurs, it's moving. You know, it's moving because they have amazing stories and they have, you know, inspiring commitment, and they are inspired by fellow entrepreneurs. Usually, you know, it's not. We don't hear about, you know, the Dalai Lama or Mother Teresa or, you know, people who are generally, you know, widely acknowledged as being inspiring. We hear about fellow entrepreneurs who are in the trenches, who, you know, they met at, you know, since most of these interviews have been so far with Portland folks, you know, in the Portland 10, right? So they've been or together in Portland 10, or they've met in Startup Weekend, or they know each other from Starbucks or some other organization. And it's that camaraderie. It's really, you know, being a comrade. You know, it's like comrade in arms. You know, we're fighting the good fight, and, you know, figuring out what we need to do. And it's never failed to inspire me. You know, the answers that these entrepreneurs give.
It again is, it's the community of the people who are the startup folks. It's the people who will jump in and start their own business, fail, get up off the mat, try again, maybe fail, maybe succeed this time, learn from it, that attitude, and there are common strains. I do believe there are common strains. Every person is completely different, complete individual, but they're common themes, and that community of folks is what inspires me, because they never rest, and they're optimistic. They are, you know, they're always looking to the future. They want to build. They want to do something for somebody. They want to serve other people, and they want to be rewarded for it, which is common sense. And that, what esprit de corps, for lack of a better word, that attitude, you can just feel it after a while. You just sense it, taste it, and you don't want to leave. It's, I suppose it's almost a narcotic. Look what shirt I'm wearing, huh? But it is addicting, and you realize it's addicting for all the right reasons.
So for me, who inspires me? Who inspires me the most are the people who come to Startup Weekend and other startup events, who have never started a company. They have no idea what they're going to do. You know, they were in accounting or administrative work or dog walkers, or, you know, whatever they are doing or were doing, that they decide to take the leap and jump into starting a new business, or decide to explore starting a new business and go to a Startup Weekend. And it's just, it's amazing to watch these people at first be shocked at this whole new world, and a little overwhelmed, if not a lot overwhelmed, with information and ideas. And then the ones who are most inspiring are the ones who deal with their fear. They put their feet down and say, I'm going to stay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to figure it out, I'm going to do the best that I can. And they come out of these events with an idea, or with the experience of participating on someone else's team. It's like, wow, I can do that. I'll join a startup as a founder. I'll join a startup as an early employee or some kind of a contributor to the company, and that takes a lot. It takes a lot of guts, and it takes a willingness to shift paradigms, because it is a big paradigm shift going from employee to entrepreneur, and taking that risk is enormous. And for me, that's the biggest inspiration.
That's good. Good thoughts.